Welcome back. Too much. Too much.
You scared me.
No, that was perfect.
You're good.
I heard hype. I got hype. Today, we are doing Jurassic World Dominion. It is a very good movie. I have a group of friends here and a special guest to talk about it.
We're not friends.
And I'm not very special.
I'm not special.
Okay, well, I'm Zach, and our special guest today is right next to me. Say hello.
Hello, my name is Dylan. And
Wow.
No, your name is special guest.
Okay.
He knows nothing, but he watched the movie, and he watched the second one on the airplane.
If you watched some of our other podcasts, we have mentioned him in some of our
Yeah,
other.
My
we've
name has
kind of
been
crap
smeared.
talked him.
Yeah,
a
I'll
bit.
say my name's been dragged in the mud by.
Yeah, so we decided to have him on
Are
to
you
clear some
insinuating
air.
that we are, like,
He might
dirty
smack
people?
Jack.
Why me?
Because you're the most slappable out of all of us. And to his left over here is the most wonderful
Stop hitting
man.
my knee. Oh,
Sorry.
thanks.
Yep. Say it. What is your name? Wonderful man.
I'm Nick.
He's not special. Next to him, we have Goral.
Camera.
Oh shit. Sorry.
Wait,
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
There we go. Cameraman sleeping. Next to him, we have Goral.
I am Goral. Vicky.
She doesn't have a name. It's Goral.
Yeah, we need diversity on this podcast. So she's here.
Diverse women one.
Whammon. I'm Whammon.
Yeah, we just kind of need. We put up a help wanted sign and just said need whammon, and
She's
showed
the
up.
only one that showed up.
Hey, maybe the
So
people
we
at the
pay her
Granite
in
Factory
Taco
have a
Bell
female
after
Yeah,
her
we don't
show.
really pay her.
We pay her in Taco Bell after the show. Probably will kick her off. It's getting kind of
She
expensive.
only likes chicken chalupas.
But we need
and
the
they run
views,
out of
so.
chicken chalupas at night.
And
so.
next to the lovely Goral is the lovely man.
Thanks.
Yep. And what is your name?
I'm Jack.
Jack. The
Unfortunately.
Jack in the Hat.
Jack
And
in
that
the Hat.
is all of us. I mean, we have our cameraman behind the cameras. He's here, so
Hi.
he might chip in.
Yeah.
Yep, that's Nick, our editor / he does everything.
I don't
So-
do everything. Jack did everything.
Give it a plot. You know what?
No, Jack did everything.
know what?
Jack did everything for like a long amount of
want some
time.
credit where
I'm not
credit's
taking.
due.
I'm not
Oh,
taking
okay,
all the
okay.
credit, but
Well-
it's now the torch has now been passed back to me, and now I will be doing my ever loving best, especially since we're changing our format style. So.
Fair enough. But you know what I have to say to that? Viewers, before we get into this podcast, I would just like to say, please like the video. It helps us a lot. It gives Nick some encouragement so we don't have to keep getting Taco Bell for Jack. It just works out well that way, I guess.
I agree.
Please support the channel so Jack can lose some weight from eating all the, stop eating all the Taco
Yeah,
Bell.
Jack obviously needs to lose some weight. The one who,
Yeah, but you don't
Anyway,
we
eat
eat too much Taco Bell.
You don't have the too many Taco Bells problem,
Yeah, I have the too many everything else problem.
At least,
so
at least
that's
you don't have
not our
chicken
problem.
legs.
we get into it.
Ooh.
Kind of like the dinosaurs in this movie. All right, let's get into it.
So, I just gotta say, I'm kind of sad that Nick behind the camera didn't go and see this movie with us.
Oh, I'm
because-
sorry. I was working.
Yeah, I know you would hate it, and I actually agree with you on this. This movie sucked. Like, out of all three of the new Jurassic World movies they released, this one was the worst.
Was it really?
Oh, it was
I disagree.
it was terrible.
I disagree, Nick.
We'll go around the
You're
table. I guess we're
Look
starting
at me.
with Jack.
Look
and
at
I
that.
liked Moonfall, and this is horrible.
Which is exactly
you are that
why-
critic. You are that
I
critic.
am the critic,
All
all
right,
right?
so
You are that
if-
critic
if
who
you're
hates
new
good
here-
movies and loves bad movies.
You like this movie?
It was.
Come on, Nick. Think
I
about
like
You
it.
gotta be
a little
kidding. I
bit.
thought out of everybody here, you would also agree with me
I-
that this movie sucked.
I liked it a little bit.
The thing
don't
is, Jack, I still cannot pin down what your opinion on movies is, because you'll be like, man, I really liked 1917, and then
Yeah.
you really liked
Dunkirk.
and all
What do you
those.
mean? I like Moonfall.
You liked really, really good movies, but then I remember we watched freaking the Multiverse of Madness, and I looked at you, and
Yeah.
you're like, it was pretty good.
It
And
was a good movie.
I wanted to go in a cigar shop and remove one of the cigar cutters and proceed to slice off my finger.
All right.
Hey, I was right there
graphic.
with you, buddy. I was right there with you.
Okay, well, I don't know. Just that movie
But that movie.
Back
didn't
on
have
topic.
dinosaurs.
So,
this
you-
movie, I don't know. It didn't
Out of
live
10.
up to. What do you mean out of 10? We just started the
Not
podcast.
yet.
We will rate it at the end when it is.
I'll throw out some
Rateable.
points real quick that I thought was kind of like silly about it, and you guys can like combat it, right?
All right.
So
Your time to talk. Go ahead.
okay, so we all know the one famous scene. If you've watched this movie, you probably know the scene of.
Are we not doing the thing where we all like just give first impressions and then
No,
start bringing
no.
up
We'll
scenes?
get to it.
Nah, we'll get to that.
Keep in mind. Sorry,
Okay.
we can continue, and I'll just keep on looking at Facebook Marketplace. But we are changing our
Shopping for
our
Blood
format
later.
anyway,
This is
so
okay.
it's kind of a transitional thing.
Yeah.
So we're moving.
So-
So I understand we've changed it a lot, but
We'll start with this one scene. Black market goes array.
Wrong.
All the dinosaurs break
sorry.
out, and dude's just chilling on a little spin scooter. Just driving around, vibing.
Man was vibing.
Man was
Where
vibing.
do you
I
get from him?
I mean,
Man was
it
in
might
another
have been
world.
feasible if he had headphones in or like
Did he have
earbuds, but
headphones
I don't think he had headphones or earbuds.
Screen for like
He
5
had like
seconds.
your AirPods or something.
Nah, I don't think
or-
he did. I really don't think he did. Because even if you did, I think
Raycons.
you'd feel the ground quake as two giant beasts.
Well, I mean,
The
the
ground
ground
is feeling
is
the ground.
the ground
on a
is
scooter.
technically vibrating
Okay.
under his feet because he's on a scooter.
So, anyways, he's just kind of like sitting there, not barely even moving, and he gets eaten by the dinosaur. And everybody else is just like, there's a couple other people in the background just kind of like walking on by as like two big dinosaurs are like eating people, and there's
Some of them are
whatever.
recording,
You
they're
know?
Oh shit!
No, yeah, like some of them were just walking by nonchalantly.
Yeah,
like they're just like,
unrealistic.
oh, he's
And then there's a
dinosaur."
couple other scenes like
People are like pointing.
like the little girl Macy. She's like she's 14 years old in this movie, and she's like more than willing to go see some like deadly raptors that like want to eat your face off like the second you go like make contact with them. And she's like, I want to go see them. And then like I don't know, when they're like in the facility, like she's really not. The only part that she was scared is when the Gigachatosaurus was like biting through the
that was my joke.
sorry, dude. Okay, that joke was just like
No one
was
laughed
coming.
anyway.
It was
so
coming.
It doesn't matter.
it was coming. They called it the Gigasaurus. Like how could that not be a joke made? But like only part she was scared is when the Gigasaurus was like biting the cage around her. Every other scene that she was in, she was around dinosaurs and stuff. She's just like, oh, whatever, like.
Well, he was the biggest one
Yeah, and like, wasn't she around dinosaurs like
for 4
all the
years.
time? Yeah, like
I don't know.
Her
In the second
father's
movie.
If
a
I was-
raptor trainer.
Still, raptor trainer. This was a Gigasaurus Rex. Okay,
Yeah,
this thing
she
was
was
huge.
even like pants.
even in the second movie, like she was in the mansion, like
With
where
all the
dinosaurs. Yeah,
True, and I did just see I was watching clips from the second movie, and she was afraid in it when a raptor came up to her, and I was like, that's realistic. That's just
Maybe
that's
she learned a
realistic.
lesson.
But
Maybe she
To
did.
be fair, they've been around Blue for 4 years in the wild now.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's done some kind of like, hey, if you ever run into him when you're by yourself,
Plus, they showed she had
do the
some,
hand thing.
She had some sort of relationship with the little baby.
Beta.
Well, I guess she just met the little baby.
I don't know. Death is so close, and they're just not freaking out. But
Well, they got main character energy, so why would they?
Yeah,
be
you're right.
afraid? Why would
Last
they be
scene, the final scene where they're hopping into the weird helicopter thing, and flying out of there.
Sure.
Not talking about the dinosaurs fighting, because I thought that was stupid. But the main thing was when they were all
Hell tank,
hopping in the
hell tank.
helicopter, they were all just like, like just walking on in, like
They were running into it.
Yeah, not one
they
of
were-
them died.
They were jogging into
because
it.
they were
and then,
trying not to just like go face first into like dinosaur death.
I don't
like-
think anybody would.
All the dinosaurs were there, so it's like we kind of like we gotta move, but we gotta be careful,
But
kind of deal.
I
I don't
would've
know, like they were just, she's like, and then they show a scene inside the helicopter of them like getting all situated in their seats, and like the little Macy's just like sitting there, like just like casually putting her seatbelt on, like slowly, like just looking all normal. Like I don't know if I was there, I think I'd be freaking out, like screaming, like go drop the helicopter, get out of here.
No way that
Like-
copter was big enough for everyone.
Yeah,
Pretty big copter.
pretty
It
big
looks
helicopter.
small from the outside. What are you talking about? It
Yeah,
looks
well,
puny.
It packed
You're
a
puny
big
from the
punch.
outside.
Yeah, what they had to fit 7 people, ish.
yeah, something like
6, 7
that.
people.
6, 7 people in
So
there.
that's not that many people.
I guess that's feasible.
yeah.
guess
I
that's
expected
feasible.
someone
You
to
get 2
die.
people in the front, and then you can
I did
fit.
expect someone to die.
I expected someone to die.
I
No one died.
Yeah.
No one died.
I was
thought
thinking Chris
Jeff
Pratt was gonna
Goldblum-
die.
I thought Jeff
thought-
Goldblum's character was gonna bite it as soon
True.
as he
Or him, yeah.
Yeah.
got the
Bite it.
torch.
Waving the the burning locusts.
Yeah, like nobody like of note died in the movie. Like
Yeah,
even like
I thought the pilot lady was gonna die, but then they needed her to be the pilot.
So
Yeah.
is that how fire works? Like if you throw a stick with a flame on the end of it into a dinosaur's mouth somehow, and then he like just immediately gains the power of like fire
Yeah,
breath.
that's how it works.
That's how fire works.
Well, I mean,
a
yeah,
little
that's how it
flame
was, like-
can cause like all this.
he
a
was like
huge-
roaring
Yeah, so-
into it, so it kind of just like.
Yeah, but is
So
that
the-
is that really how fire
you-
works?
If you hit the uvula,
Mhm,
right,
mhm.
it's full of flammable liquids.
I
So
must have missed that part. I must have
especially in
missed that part.
dinosaurs, they have huge uvulas. So it's
Oh,
like
you're right.
Well, it's like he set his mouth on fire, and then he roared because he was in pain, and that just like breathed all the fire like out. It doesn't put it out, but it,
But like
know.
the stick had just like a what was it, a bug on it?
Yeah.
A locust.
A
This is a
small
the
little
locust on
bug.
fire. Like
Yeah.
and it was dwindling. It was going out. It wasn't like a big old fire.
I don't know
or
about that
anything
one.
nah, bro, he was oozing flammable liquids. He was just
Also, what-
oozing flammable.
What is up with that? Okay, was it a part of his plan to release the flaming locusts
No,
into
Obviously
the...
not.
No.
Dude,
He was trying to
I
They
destroy it all.
breached containment when he set him on fire.
Yeah, he's trying to kill them all,
just-
and then they just don't die from
It was
fire,
just
I
so
guess.
poorly. I mean, they do because they're like
Bro,
falling
yeah.
and like dying, but like it was just so
Took 'em a
poorly planned. Like the
Bill Gates just kept catching L's.
I know,
entire
like the
movie.
main villain here was just like
What?
He did look like Bill Gates a
Kinda
little bit.
I did hate the villain. He was kind of
Yeah.
like he was very like he wasn't good. Like he wasn't
Like,
smart. He was
He
just
yeah,
like
he wasn't
just like
whatever.
I
made
don't
the wrong
mind-
decision at every turn.
I know. It
I
just-
didn't mind how awkward he was. Like I like even at that first like conversation where he's like super
It was
awkward,
so weird.
and it's just like that's fine because not every person is gonna be like super well versed even in like a movie, but it's just like. There was one thing where he's telling a guy what to do, and he's like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And he's like, It gave me like Pat Sajak vibes when he's trying to do like Scooby Doo. He's like,
I was
Like-
gonna say that. Yeah.
It's just like he's super awkward. Not
He's like-
I don't-
he stutters a lot, and
He
it's
meets
just
Alan Grant
like-
and Ali Sadler, and he's just like, "It's so good to have you here." It's just
Walks away. And then in other scenes, he's like very well put together and like can actually formulate a sentence without being
I
weird.
do not admire your tone, and he goes, "Oh."
It's like I feel like that was an issue with like all the Jurassic World movies. It's like they have all this dinosaur stuff happening, but then they sprinkle like the corporation side of it. It's like even in the first two,
Yeah.
they had like the InGen stuff where it's like they were creating the hybrids, but it's like that was such like took a back seat by the end because they wanted to make room for dinosaur fights and chases and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like that kind of what happened here. It's just like
Yeah, what exactly was
out
his
of place.
plan though? What was he trying to do?
so he was trying to raise the locusts to like eat all the crops, and they were trained to not eat the crops that the company made.
Yeah, but then he was also trying to like change DNA or something, or like get dinosaur genetics and change people, or
To, like,
like
solve
cure
cancer.
Yeah, like
stuff.
cure
Yeah.
diseases.
So like he had multiple plans. Like what was he gonna
I mean-
stick to?
Honestly,
He-
I don't even think that was his plan, to be honest. Like, I think it just kind of like happened, and he was like, whatever,
well, I
it's
mean,
cool.
it was just kind of more of a front, so we can do everything else.
Yeah.
Even with the locust thing
Like-
though, too. Like when the scientist was saying, "Oh, they're taking over. They're like multiplying by millions and
Yeah.
eating everything," and he's like, "Nah, it's fine. Just let everyone die."
Well, that's the point.
It's like we can't.
Like he's
just,
trying to have everything die because
Jesus Christ.
they
we
they
can't
said at the
stop
beginning
our
of the movie
progress
that
'cause,
they don't eat the BioWare or whatever it was called.
How is that not like
Yeah, it's like he didn't
suspicious
plan
at all,
for that,
you know?
though.
Like they
No.
like they know that they create these like hybrids and like create
I mean,
these
it is suspicious. It was even in the newspaper. Like,
You
where
know?
those come from?
like oh
But
it's come from
it's
them
like-
and it's eating every crop but theirs.
Yeah, but
that
think of
doesn't raise a
it
red
like
flag,
in a
like-
court-related
Naturally
issue. It's like if
appearing
you take them to
giant
court because of that,
cicadas.
you have to have evidence.
Yeah, and that was the whole point. Like the whole point of the Locust storyline was just to get the old characters into the facility,
Yeah,
and that
Yeah.
was really it. It didn't really serve much more purpose than that.
pretty much. It's just
Also, I didn't really understand how it was like, oh, your mother figured out how to change DNA. If I can figure out how to change DNA, I can give all the locusts COVID and kill them all.
Well,
Like,
they've been what?
I think he was like,
This
It's
is
not
like, it's like
kosher
if I
joke
can
at
change your
all.
DNA, I can
Also-
make all the locusts die.
it was the one he
instantly.
released in the end. Like he kind of like he released them into
Yeah.
the horde to like reproduce and basically
Die.
just like just die, like and actually die and not survive.
Mm.
Which
So,
is
like-
like it's a weird character development for that guy because like wasn't he the guy that like created Indominus
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
was like
He is.
trying to weaponize everything and
It
all of a
was-
sudden it's just
it-
like
yeah.
oh yeah no I
What
The
it
scientist guy?
really yes.
Yeah.
What it really reminded me of was like a General Hux type turn, where it's like the first two movies he was super evil, like in Star Wars, and then
Yeah.
in the last movie when they kind of changed stuff up, it's like I'm the spy. It's like,
But he was like the
what?
spy for a wrong reason. He just wanted Kylo Ren to like die.
yeah it was just
Yeah.
like I'm not your friend
He was
but
just like salty. He was like, I don't want Kylo to win.
But like it was still kind of dumb. It was just like this turn of events.
Was
that,
he in
like,
previous movies?
He was in the first Jurassic Park
he was in the first two
Jurassic Park, Jurassic World.
Jurassic World
and Jurassic Park.
oh he was in Jurassic
He
Park
was he was one of the young scientists.
Really?
That's why they brought him back.
Wait, so in Jurassic World, he was the one who created all the like.
yeah like he was
basically
the one
bad
that was
stuff
messing
that's
with
happened.
hybrids and
He
his,
was
like,
creating hybrid dinosaurs, not based off like they're all technically hybrid dinosaurs because they splice. They don't have the full DNA strands of a dinosaur, so they put the missing parts in with like other animals.
Oh, yeah.
lizards and stuff.
And so like that's what they make. That's how they make the dinosaurs. But he was taking literally all the like we want bigger teeth, so we take a bigger teeth gene, put it in. We take like harder scales, put that in. Like to make this big giant scary
right.
hybrid monster that isn't even really a dinosaur anymore.
Right.
yeah
And then they end up making the Indominus Rex. And then that happens, and then they end up doing it to a raptor as well.
They should have just tried making giant dragons with wings.
I mean, dinosaurs basically are kind of dragons.
No,
I know,
I mean,
but
it's
like the
like
ones with wings, like from.
They should have given the pterodactyls like the ability to breathe fire. Or
I will say
something.
one
Well,
thing-
apparently they did.
one thing I loved about this movie is like you saw like a lot of different variations of dinosaurs. Like dinosaurs were represented well in here. It's like you had the chicken and all that like other stuff.
the chicken.
Just the
dinosaur.
chicken. That's it. But yeah, it's just, like,
Chicken raptor,
Yeah,
Edward
blind-
Scissorhands.
Yeah,
raptor.
the one that like flared out at the sides. That one was cool.
But
On the
you're
spits.
also starting to see them with like feathers and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you could tell like as in our real world, as we start to learn more about dinosaurs and how like, oh, maybe they actually did have feathers and stuff, you see them kind of like inputting it into the movies as maybe they're even getting closer to a perfect dinosaur DNA strand.
Yeah.
So maybe they're getting closer to actually perfecting a dinosaur, whether besides just putting like frog DNA into them.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's like I saw a thing that they that I don't know, some scientists were saying like that the recreations of like the bones and dinosaurs that we have now that we've like dug up at dig sites and stuff may not actually be accurate. Like we might have it like completely wrong, and like the bones are in like the completely wrong place, and the dinosaurs could look completely different. Especially maybe
Possibly.
not entirely the bone structure, but like the way they look. Like because I don't think we know what the skin of the dinosaurs looks like. As now we're learning that like
Yeah.
they have
Yeah.
feathers and whatnot. Like so the T-Rex could not be just this giant like bald looking thing. Like it could
It
have been
could
like
have
a
had
giant,
wings.
Giant chicken.
maybe not a wing.
No, it could have
but,
had wings.
maybe it could have.
Maybe they just looked like giant
Flightless
people. And we don't
bird.
know it.
It could have actually been a dragon.
Could've been Pegasus.
Yeah, it could have actually had like a little fire breathing thing in it. And it could breathe fire.
Flammable uvulas.
I'd say for the most part they got the bone structure at least 50% right. Because I mean, you have you could tell like what part the skull is. And stuff.
Yeah. That's
So that's
That's
I mean,
obvious,
at
but,
least
like-
we know what their head shape was.
yeah, but like I'm talking about like neck bones and like tail bones and like I
It
mean,
is
obviously like
true, 'cause
legs might be like pretty obvious. But,
There
like,
are weird animals out there that like they showed kind of like how we could accidentally misinterpret something. Like I forgot what skull they showed, but they showed like skull of something that we have on our planet, and it turns out to be completely just different than
but-
what you think it would be.
right.
So
I think I know what
yeah.
you're talking about too. I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
Like it's something like I think it was like a bunny rabbit or something like that. Like the skull of a bunny rabbit. It was like super like terrifying and creepy. And then they actually show what it is, and it's just a rabbit.
I forgot what it was, but it was like it would look like it would have tusk
Mhm.
and like some kind of long snout, and it turned out to just be like a fucking anteater or something.
Yeah. Yeah, something completely harmless. Like how would we know if they had like webbed feet or something like that, or like our wings, for instance? Because like there's no bones and webbed feet, and there's no bones and like wings and stuff like that.
Sure.
Like, what if the
it's interesting.
pterodactyls were just these weird things that like just walked on the ground that had like really lengthy arms?
That's why like the books of these movies are really good to read because
Yeah.
a lot of like actual scientific stuff goes into it. Now, obviously, it's science fiction as of right now. Hopefully, it stays that way. We have now what
Unless you
6
find some
movies.
mosquitoes.
Yeah, we gotta find. Yeah, that's not true at all. You can't take blood from a mosquito.
Can you not? Like that was I kind of like the first Jurassic Park.
It is proven that
That's false,
not
you
a
can't do
thing.
that?
No. Sadly.
Very sad.
I mean, hey, I'm all for bring back the herbivores.
I mean,
They're cool.
do you really want people to bring back dinosaurs? Like,
No.
I don't want that to happen.
No,
That's
'cause
terrifying.
Exactly what happened in these movies is what's gonna happen in real life. because
Exactly.
people have
6
money.
reasons why.
Do we
not to
actually
do this.
want to do that? Like, people are like, "Oh, it'd be so cool to do that." No.
I
Because
ain't
one of
bringing
you
the
guys
giant
would-
fish back in the ocean. Dude.
Yeah.
There's no way.
No.
No.
There's enough reasons in our ocean right now to not be.
There might
swimming
even
in
be
it.
There's
something
enough
like
reason to
that
be
down
terrified of
like
the ocean. We
you
don't-
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure we only have like 3% of the ocean actually discovered and mapped out.
Yep.
So like
Getting
they're
better at it, but
I mean,
yeah.
still, like, maybe
we
like,
know more
might
about
be
our
at
moon
5.
than the ocean.
Yeah. So
So
you know, who's to say that there isn't one of those giant things like swimming around the depths
I mean,
of the ocean?
we probably would have found one by now.
No.
You never know. We're still discovering new species, new fish every day.
That's true, but something that big would need a lot to eat. So if it's far down, there has to be a lot of food down there. Which
I mean,
It
there
could
is.
be.
There
I
is.
mean, possibly.
We don't know.
And usually, fish they discover are like really tiny and translucent fish that you find in like the very deep parts of the
But
ocean.
usually the very deep parts is like it's just kind of like micro stuff, so like
Yeah.
kind of like plankton and stuff like that.
We
So if
discovered a
there-
new fish.
If
How
there
big
is
is it?
something that big, eating all the plankton down there, then it's like it's probably gonna look very different than having a big mouth with sharp teeth.
Yeah,
But
I know what you're saying. There's always a possibility.
I just hate the things where it's like the megalodon could be out there. It's like
No.
yeah, I feel like we would have seen evidence of it.
Never know.
Never
You
know.
never know.
There is evidence of it. What do you mean? Oh, evidence of
Like
it still being there.
being out there. I know it was a thing. Just like, you know, the aliens. Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah, movie.
so what do you guys like about this? Like, tell me
I
some
like a lot of
things.
things.
Huh?
The
I liked a
jump
lot of
scares
things.
were really good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they're alright.
They were pretty
It's,
good jump
like,
scares.
The thing about this movie is it's like you can kind of break it up into 3 different movies. It's just like the first like 30 minutes is kind of like a mini documentary of like what it would look like if like dinosaurs were just kind of like in the world.
Yeah.
But see, I personally like that. I love seeing our animals connect with dinosaurs.
It was
Yeah,
weird.
but it was just like it was kind of rushed, and it's like it's rushed.
It wasn't that rushed because I think it was just explaining for people who didn't watch the last movie what's kind of going on right now.
Yeah, but it's like you have that, you have the whole like Blue and his child, you have the clone kid and the shitty relationship between like Owen, Claire, and her. And then you have the locusts, and then you have the old characters meeting up, like all of that within like the first like 45 minutes, and it's just like you're jumping, and it's like they don't really have any time to like make us really care without like cheesy dialogue and stuff. It's just like
Yeah.
it's super rushed, and it's just like, why is like half this stuff here? Why are we now in Utah when we were just in Nevada 5 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It was very cheesy.
Yeah, the jumps were insane. They were just like cut to. I have a worm in my mouth. I'm sorry. And they would just cut to that one farm for like 5 minutes, where like the cicadas go nuts, and then immediately go to Utah. And like 2 minutes later, they're in
We're
a
back in the
completely
farm.
different state where they're back on the farm. Like, please just stay in one spot for like
I mean,
10 minutes
I
or
found
something.
it easy to follow though.
it's
Yeah.
not hard to follow. It's just like
it just wasn't written well. Like that was the part of the beginning part of the movie was the part that I feel like it got better as it got on, and it started off really weak.
I just didn't like the part where they're in the city with the dinos kind of running around.
Oh, I love that part.
The one
That's
where
like the second
The
movie.
scooter guy like gets eaten.
Yeah.
I love that. Actually.
Yeah, that was the second part of like the second movie, because that was just like straight up like action flick. Like
Yeah.
we're here like, you know, gunfights, dinosaurs are coming out and wrecking everything. And
The
then it's
raptors
like
and-
yeah.
Yeah.
the first part of the movie, and then that part in the city where it's like they show this underground like crime rings, like focused around trading dinosaur parts and dinosaurs. I thought that was cool. I liked how they were kind of looking further into like how dinosaurs and humans would kind of mesh in society.
It kind of gave me like a Star Wars vibe a little bit.
Yeah,
It's like
it did.
Like a cantina type beat, and it's just
Yeah,
like all these
but
like,
it's,
kinda
like,
low
really
lights and creatures
messed
and stuff,
up.
like hanging out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all good, but then like the parts where Chris Pratt kept putting his hands out, that was so great, guys.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
It's Chris Pratt
So
in every
good.
single
What do you
movie.
mean? Yeah, I mean that's just how he does
Chris
it.
Pratt
What else
directing
do you want him
Traffic.
to do?
Oh, I love
So
the,
amazing.
I love all the evil raptors. Like the lady's like, yeah, we train them to follow this laser. It's like impossible to get away. Like once you're targeted, you're done. And then
Literally
single
every-
major
yeah.
character lives. Like, you know, the
I
old
did-
raptor.
These raptors
trainer
are designed
lives.
to fight militaries.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't like
that one was
weird.
that was kind of dumb because like we just throw the fodder characters to die.
Yeah.
And then like all the main characters live.
Yeah, the
Raptors doesn't even
the
look
girl
all that
flying the
special.
plane should have been happy because she knew she had a main character on the plane.
Yeah.
So obviously it wasn't gonna go south or anything like that.
Oh yeah, and then I hated the pilot character. That is
Like,
one
why
thing
don't
I
they
hated.
do that nowadays? Like, why don't they just normalize like, because it's so like I already know what's gonna happen. Like, especially with the scene where the big Gigasaurus is like chasing them and like trying to kill them all or whatever. Like, none of them are gonna die. They're all main characters.
Yeah.
It's not gonna.
Well,
they're
it
not
was the
gonna kill
last
off any of them.
movie.
Huh?
They could have.
Yeah, they really could have. They didn't.
I feel like they should have. Yeah.
It's just so like, I don't know. I've seen it a million times. Like,
Yeah.
why don't they like do an unexpected death
Yeah.
kind of thing? You know?
Maybe
Like,
not
doesn't even have to be-
unexpected, but if they included some death from one of the main characters that like was actually significant to
Yeah.
the plot in some way, then that would have made the whole ending of the movie way more meaningful.
But then don't do it in like a super like because the only way they do it like when they kill off a main character is in like a really like a meaningful and like a
Like a
he's
super
like
cinematic way.
yeah, and he's like he or she is like sacrificing themselves for the greater good or some other person.
They should have done it when they were trying to get away from that big one in the woods. With Jeff
Kill off-
Goldblum's
yeah,
like
Ian Malcolm.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should
He should have just went running,
yum.
sacrificed
Well,
himself.
it also,
I don't know.
I think it shows.
I feel like there wasn't really any good spot for that to happen.
That
is
was a
the
good
problem.
spot.
It
But-
That would've been a good
There
shot.
They
you
could have
go.
killed off like 3
Yeah.
or 4 of them.
No, it's
Yeah.
just like
Well,
they didn't. The story wasn't written in a way to where like one of them could have died and it would have actually meant something. Because if Jeff Goldblum just like took the Tyrannosaurus, whatever, into the woods to get just eaten, so like, wow, that's very anticlimactic for one of the major characters of the plot. It's like
Well, also like
they don't set anything up very well in this.
it's like Ian Malcolm's character just in this entire movie is just a big meme. It's just like all these bad things are happening.
What
and
do you
he's
think
just
he
like,
was in the first 3 movies?
I know, but
He
it's
was a
like
meme then,
still,
too,
it's
right?
just like they're in the mines about to die from these dinosaurs.
didn't-
It's like I didn't know I needed a code. It's just like so
I didn't know there was a
nonchalantly, just
code.
like
Yeah, he's so
That's
like
his
calm
character.
as like
I
his,
know.
That's
I mean,
his
I love
character's
it.
weird.
1984. I love that
It's a
book.
1984. Yeah.
Birthdays. What's John's
maybe it's
birthday?
his birthday.
It's just like when they're about to fall off the cliff, it's like, yeah, it's fine, we're fine.
We're
And then they
teetering, it's
fall off
okay.
the-
Teetering.
Like he
They
literally got
took it.
teleported from the that one place in Ragnarok to Jurassic World. Just became got a job there, and he's
It's like,
just
I
the
was
same
so
person. He's the
confused.
same person.
I was so confused when I came back from the bathroom. It's just like, what happened? It's like, oh, the guy from Thor got fired. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? What?
I forgot his name.
Give me a minute.
Ragnarok.
Bro, it's the Grand Master.
Jeff Goldblum.
Grandmaster.
Jeff Goldblum is too iconic to be known as the guy from Thor.
Exactly.
I like him. He's a good actor.
I met him.
Really?
Yeah,
Did you?
Nice.
at one of the MegaCons.
Is he
Damn.
the same?
Yeah. Oh, he's a character.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
but-
have you ever seen like the thing? I think it's on Disney Plus, where it's like the world in the eyes of Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
No.
It's a great
It's
show.
so
You should check
sick. Yeah, it's just like he goes around and like looks at these different topics and kind of like explores them in depth. Yeah.
Huh.
Like he does like some with like
So it's
tattoos
on-
and foods and stuff. It's either on like Disney Plus or on Netflix or something. I
I'll
don't
have to give it a
remember.
watch. He's pretty cool.
I
But-
watch all of Jeff Goldblum's ads for that one real estate
Apartment.com
business.
or something.
apartments.com.
Oh, yeah.
So, real quick, back to like the whole unexpected death thing. I want to give an example of like a show that does it right. I don't know if you guys have watched The Boys, right?
Yeah.
Not to like try and shout it out and toot its horn, but like throughout that show, I don't know. I feel like they just do like death
Random death.
Yeah, random death, like
Okay, see, the
good.
problem with random death in movies like this is like we've gotten shown like in what's that one show that ended that's like with the dragons?
How to Train Your Dragon.
No.
It's a show.
Game of Thrones.
Harry Potter?
Game of Thrones. The person who writes that does like, death can happen at any time, right? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's the precedent.
Walking Dead.
And that I think that's the even Walking Dead protects its characters sometimes.
No, but people just like die randomly in the show too. Like especially in the early seasons.
What, are they main characters?
I mean,
Kinda in the
Not
early
really.
seasons,
I
yeah,
mean-
they were. They could have been,
but like
they
that's
died.
why that I feel like that show kind of took an L because it would just kill characters off kind of randomly. Like I don't know, you got to have some like the movie wouldn't be as cool of a movie if you just killed characters randomly.
I'm not saying like just all like
That's what-
complete
yeah.
random death, but like it could be a mix, you know, like some of them could be like really meaningful and cinematic and sacrificial, like kind of deaths, like I'm gonna run off and lead the dinosaur this way so you guys can get to safety, and then others just be like random, like they just get eaten, like the dude on the scooter.
See, now, like, that would be cool. I totally agree that, like, if he just, like, took the dinosaur and then just started running and they left his, like, demise kind of open-ended.
I mean, he would have outran him though.
And then
because
because he's
if Claire can outrun a T-Rex in high heels in the first movie, then dinosaurs are slow
Listen,
fuckers.
we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. But
that's just how it happens.
Don't give us more
The
reasons
problem
to
is it's the
complain.
last movie. You have to, like there's nothing else after this. Unless, like,
I
30
wouldn't say
years from
that
now,
far.
they're like, let's reboot it again. But, like they're gonna, if they're gonna reboot it, it's gonna be completely different. It's not gonna, like, be a continuation.
What if they like did it completely wrong and killed like the baby raptor for like a random death thing? He just dies.
When they're tranquilizing him, they accidentally like
They
shoot the
actually
trank
shot him
dart
down.
into his eye socket.
Bullet.
That wasn't a trank dart. But yeah, it's just like this is kind of the end of the franchise, and like they haven't set a precedent of that. So a lot of people would complain if they just had like random main character deaths. Like at this point, like this is a universal formula
Yeah.
that it's following for the 6th time.
Yeah.
So it's like if they try to change it now, there would be a lot of people that would not be happy. I mean, a lot of people are already not happy because a lot of people hate the movie. But
Yeah, I gotta tell you guys the ratings that like the critics gave this
it's not like
movie
30
after.
something, right?
Also,
I'll-
what
I'll let you know.
was the thing for this? Was it like PG-13 or something? Because this was just like not.
Probably PG-13.
It was probably
Yeah.
PG, bro. This movie was not like, it wasn't gruesome. There's no death. There's just like
Yeah.
nothing in it.
There's death.
Yeah,
There's
no.
death, but
There was
it's very
one
quick.
death. Yeah. It was,
Hey, the scooter guy! Don't forget the scooter guy.
Like,
I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta remember though.
Yeah, my
so
bad.
even in the old Jurassic Park movies,
Those
there
scared the
wasn't-
shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie. When I was
Yeah.
watching those as a kid, I was terrified.
I think the worst thing ever in all of Jurassic Park was just like she goes to grab the dude's arm and it's like it's just his arm.
Oh God, no.
yeah.
But that's they never even back then they never showed anything.
It was just so terrifying.
It's
just how they
The
always
worst
done it.
scene. Well, it's not a bad scene, but the scene that always stuck with me from like the first movie was where that ink raptor, the one that shoots the goo, and it has like the big fins on his
Yeah.
face.
Mm-hmm.
That raptor scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Because the scene where he kills the fat guy. You guys remember that scene?
Yeah.
from the original.
Doesn't-
The guy with the glasses?
Yeah.
That scene is ingrained in my brain because I saw it when I was like 6 years old and it just scarred me for life. I'm like, oh my. I don't like dinosaurs anymore. That's what that's what
I don't
that's
like
what I said after
dinosaurs
watching
anymore.
that.
I do
After
like
watching
the,
that clip,
Sold
I
his
was like,
action
I don't like
figures.
them anymore.
I did like the throwback they kind of did to where
Mm-hmm.
the villain in this movie got the same death as the fat guy from that first
Yeah.
one.
Gets
He was
gooed
running
to
away
death.
with the same exact can
Yeah.
that had the
Is that what that was?
dinosaur
Super.
DNA. Yeah,
Yep.
because it's the same can from the first one
Yeah.
that it's just like a shaving cream can, but he hollowed it out
the
and
Barbosa.
they put the dinosaur DNA in there. So what he was trying to do was escape with dinosaur DNA to start it all over again,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
basically, because that is the DNA from the mosquito. So without that, that's like your base right there. If that gets destroyed and everything else is left behind, then you can't make dinosaurs anymore. So he got fucked.
Yeah. And then gooed to
They
death.
just
Gooed and
got
eaten.
gooed and
Rip Bozo.
chomped on.
we
Bill
don't. We
Gates.
actually we don't know if that can got destroyed. It was just like chilling out in that
It
tunnel.
did get destroyed, but it's left in a tunnel on a deserted.
Someone could go
dinosaur
back and
field.
find it. We don't know.
Oh yeah,
Whoa,
because
fourth movie.
Yeah,
not
Jurassic
fourth
World.
movie,
Fourth movie.
seventh movie.
Reboot.
Fourth
Yeah,
movie
reboot.
sweep. Fourth movie sweep.
40 years from now,
Yeah.
Disney is a monopoly and owns Universal.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do
Yeah.
it.
I will say one thing that this movie kind of does that's like not great is it kind of does what a lot of reboots do, and it gets caught up in its nostalgia. Like, you know, it's kind of like uses those main characters like, oh look, you're here.
Yeah,
it's like,
I-
hey, we're just having this conversation, like we're catching up.
I admit
a little
that,
bit.
but it was cool having the main characters back again.
I
Yeah.
hated that scene where they're all in like the giant watchtower hiding from Giga Chadsaurus.
They took a
they're all just
knife
like,
and just started stabbing.
You're
with
that
the
guy,
face.
and they're like, you're that guy. It's like, I'm that guy, and it's basically just like
I'm that guy,
Alan
pal.
Grant, Owen, and Jeff Goldblum just like talking about each other from the past
well,
movies.
I mean,
and
that
I'm just
was an
like,
issue
can this
that I
stop?
had with No Way Home. It's just like they're in this big fight, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, blah blah blah, we're cracking jokes and chilling. It's like we suck, and it's like, no, you don't suck. And it's just like,
See, that's different because that's like a fantasy, right? That's a fantasy
Yeah.
that every Marvel fan wanted. Was the whole like three Spider-Mans pointing at each other and Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland talking to one another.
so you make it sound like
Nobody-
90% of people aren't
nobody
going to
was
see this
really-
movie to see the old characters back in the thing, is what you're saying.
No, I
That
don't
is
think
why
so.
most people
No.
are going to see this
No.
movie because of the Jurassic Park kind of logo and the old characters being back in the movie.
People who
It
go
is
to
a
see
factor.
this might
Yeah.
like a
The
small
Jurassic Park
percentage.
logo did not have any.
People who like
anything.
dinosaurs.
That was
want
just
to see
something
this
they did
movie.
That was cool.
Well, no, I mean
People
just
like us see the
just-
movie because we do a podcast on it. But
Yeah.
Yeah, what I mean, it's
I don't
just
know.
like, you know, they have on the Jurassic World, they, you know, the Jurassic Park logo's there as like the poster of the movie, so that just gets people excited because of, you know, having watched all the movies in the franchise.
The
for
Jurassic
nostalgia.
World logo is the same as Jurassic Park logo.
That's what I mean.
It's been that way for the past 3 movies.
Yes, that's why people are going to see this movie because, you know,
I'm
they
going to see them-
associate Jurassic these movies with the old ones because it's
okay.
all the same franchise.
so basically, if you
It's a
resweep
sequel.
the room by Tommy Wiseau in theaters and just slap the Jurassic Park logo on it, people would go and see it.
yes, absolutely.
And with
All right,
that,
What?
point taken.
And with that, we go to
this
our
argument's
ratings.
stupid.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I don't.
Also, before we go to ratings, it was so funny. So in the theater, you know the part where Alan Grant and Ali Sadler make out finally?
Yep.
The guy
Yes,
next to me
make
just
out.
just lost it. He just started laughing and was like, "Finally! It took 30 years for that to
I
happen."
heard
It
that.
did.
Took 30 years for that to happen.
It did take.
they
30
never
years.
they really never make out in the first movies.
Because they're not a thing.
No.
They're just friends.
Like you even see it at the beginning. It's like she's like, "Oh yeah, my husband and I are like not together anymore."
Yeah.
Dang.
Because the third
They got
movie,
friend-zoned.
isn't it her and her husband? They go back for something.
I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen the Jurassic Parks.
They go back for some reason.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I
her
watched
I watched the
husband's
first
brother.
movie, and then like started watching the second movie because I don't remember finishing the second or watching the third movie because I just didn't really care.
I love the third. The only thing I can remember from the third movie is that Alan Grant is just asleep on the plane, and he wakes up and there's just a raptor in front of him. He's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And then he wakes
your
up
story?
from a nightmare. It's just like the rapper is just politely talking to
rapper.
him in like a top hat.
You know, I'm just waking up at M&M's right there. You know, the rapper
great.
right there. You
No
chilling.
world.
Was good, man.
All right, well, let's get to these ratings. This is the part where we go around the table.
I know what ratings
And
are.
give ratings.
Have you watched our podcast, by the way?
I do, yeah.
Do you want to do the one where we write down, and then I'll
Everyone show a number on
Yeah.
their phone. Go on like Snapchat.
I
or
like
something.
that one. So just pull up so think of your rating, put it on your phone, like as a number, look up the number or whatever,
Cue
Okay.
intense thought music.
and then we're gonna we'll all show it at the same time.
It's so quiet now.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, and we're back. We all have our numbers, and we're ready to show them in
Jack
3.
doesn't.
I have it.
No, we're not
2.
showing them all at once. We're doing it one at a
Okay,
time.
fine.
You'll do one
are
at
we
a
going to
time.
explain ourselves?
1, check up.
Yeah, you give a little explanation.
All right, go Jack.
All right, I give this movie a 4.5 out of 10.
We're doing points. That's lame.
What do you mean?
Round it up. Round it
I'm
down.
just
Round it up. It's a 5.
Round it down.
4.5 out of 10.
Fine.
Movie was
4.5 out of
poopy.
10.
I like the dinosaurs though.
I gave it a 6. I thought it was okay.
poorly drawn 6.
Hey, I thought it was a good-looking 6. What are you talking
So
about?
I switched to text
Can't
numbers.
even see it. It's glaring.
No, it
There you go.
was good. Okay, whatever. I thought it was a good
6 in
movie.
preschool thing.
I didn't want to watch it, but I don't know. Kind of the jump scares got me. Everything else was poopy.
That one jump scare with Alan Grant when he's climbing up the ladder did kind of get me.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty good.
I was not expecting that.
I
was
don't
a good
like
one.
gators.
All right, Nick, go ahead.
I gave it a 5. And it's really
Nice.
just because, the story didn't do anything particularly amazing. It gets the job done. If you don't care that much, like, you won't mind it. But yeah, it wasn't a bad movie, but it wasn't great.
Okay.
Next.
So I also gave it a 6. Let's be honest here. Story, it was bad. It was pretty bad.
So mid.
But like I treated this movie kind of like a Godzilla or King Kong movie. I went in here to see dinosaurs, and it delivers amazingly. The dinosaurs are easily the best part of this movie, and you see so much of them throughout this movie. So it was just, if you just kind of turn off the bad story, it's a really fun time in the theater, and I had a great time watching it. But it's just the story kind of brings the rating down.
Was that your cup or the headphones? Okay. Schneider.
Yes!
Yes! Between the garbage can and the TV, really?
I couldn't have done that if I planned it. All right, keep on going.
No, fix
He's
it.
gonna give me so much shit for this.
All right, go
All
Zach.
right, Zach.
He's gonna get so much shit for this.
Oh God.
Let's see it.
All right.
Man, give it
Did
a
you
10
give
out
it
of
an
10.
8?
I give it a yellow for Minions.
What the heck?
Eight,
Why'd you
right?
give it an 8?
Because this movie deserves an 8. And I'll fucking tell you why.
Explain.
Dinosaurs were fucking amazing, right?
Fair.
The characters weren't that bad.
No,
All right.
they weren't that great.
I liked how I liked the premise of the movie. How dinosaurs and people and nature have to get along now. And that was kind of the whole kind of thing in the movie. And at the end they win and you get it, but it's they don't just get rid of dinosaurs. You solve that problem, and they live together in harmony and love each other. I hate
The
you
Room by
guys.
Tommy
You
Wiseau.
done?
Hey,
Listen, and look, and playing the Jurassic World 1 and 2, the games, really do kind of help put an emphasis on it. Look, okay, fuck you guys.
Okay,
Really gotta play the
Zach.
games to get
I
the get
enjoyed
the
Okay,
it too.
Zach.
Wait, there was games?
Yeah.
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 Like tycoon kind of building things.
All right.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Hey,
you can
on
build
Roblox?
parks.
No.
No.
It's its own game. It's on Game Pass. Both of them are.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I
Jurassic
never knew.
World Evolution.
all right.
One and
Well,
But you
all,
get to learn all the dinosaurs and stuff.
Okay.
our
I
total
enjoyed this.
score.
I
No
enjoyed
story.
it too, Zach. I probably would have given it a little higher, but I feel like a 6 was appropriate.
Yeah. Our total score is a 5.9.
5.9.
Fucking disgraceful.
The
Disgraceful.
critics, I think IMDb gave it a 6 out of 10, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 30.
Yeah.
I think you got IMDb gave it a 30.
No, IMDb gave it a 6 out
30,
of 10.
30 out of 10. Great movie.
Gave it a 6. What did Rotten Tomatoes get?
30.
On what part? Critic or
Crit-
audience?
Well, obviously that's critic. Let's see what the audience is.
I think audience is lower.
Audience is 78%.
Oh, is
Ooh.
I mean, audience score is always higher than the critic score.
it? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a fun movie.
Because
I'll read
critics
the,
are stupid.
I'll read the critic consensus.
Kind of like you guys.
Jurassic World Dominion might be a bit of an improvement over its immediate predecessors in some respects, but
I agree.
this franchise has lumbered a long way down from its classic start.
I agree,
agree
with
with
that.
that.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
You can't
I
get
can agree
any
with
better
that.
than the first movie in Jurassic Park.
That's
Yeah,
true.
'cause it's
But then that
iconic,
shouldn't.
but-
I
Because-
hate people
because-
basing their ratings off that. It's just it's not the first movie, so it's bad in
Yeah,
comparison.
but-
Because the first movie
Without
does one
comparing
thing
it,
that
it's still
none
bad.
of the other ones can do.
See,
It
that's-
introduces
because the first.
That's why the first Jurassic World got such a bad rep, because it was just the first movie over again, just in nowadays time. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's the same shit. Park opens and gets fucked
Yeah.
by dinos, right? But this movie, like, actually was unique, right? Nothing like this was done before it.
Well,
Yeah, it's like
Jurassic World 1, the new Jurassic, Jurassic World.
Jurassic World.
Well, in Jurassic, in the
got
second,
a 71% on Rotten Tomatoes, so they actually kind of liked it.
It's in the
different
second Jurassic
style
Park.
movie.
Didn't something happen where it was like, oh, a
2 out of
T-Rex got
47.
loose in like the public space or something?
For like a little bit. For like the like last 20 minutes of the movie.
Okay.
But it's like with Jurassic World
But no,
and
what the
Jurassic Park are like different. Because like, Jurassic Park is meant to be more like horror style, but it's just like I feel like the new ones are more actiony.
And
It's more
the
just, like,
Jurassic
fighting and
Park
stuff like
1
that.
has like this element of mystery and wonder because it ponders the question, what if we lived with
What
dinosaurs? Like, what if dinosaurs were a thing in like our era? Like, that would be... And then the entire time it's just the main characters going through this park and discovering these giant reptiles, and it's fucking cool.
I mean, yeah,
And they can't
tension
really-
was high, but
Yeah.
it's just that was horror. These are action.
Yeah, because like
It's not.
at the
I'm not
end
even
of-
arguing whether it's horror or action. I'm basically saying is that what the other movies lack is they lack that mystery and wonder aspect that made
'cause
Jurassic
that's-
1 so special.
That's not what they're going for. I mean, they
Because they
kind of
can't
are.
go for it. It's-
Like every one of these new movies has ended with a giant dinosaur fight. And like the first one, you had the T-Rex and Blue fighting the Indominus.
Well, to be fair, the first Jurassic Park ended like that too.
Did it? I don't.
Yeah,
it's been a
because
long
it
time.
ended with the T-Rex saving them from the raptors.
Yeah.
Which is why they always in the movies with the classic T-Rex winning a battle.
Yeah.
But they can't just have the same shit. So it's
Yeah.
like, dude, that T-Rex has been through so much shit. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh, I thought it was so dope. Like right before they fought the big boy,
That's
like the Giga.
T-Rex, is it?
Like he went past the
It's the same
circle
one
and
from
it
the
like
first movie.
yeah, like they went past like the little circle and he kind of made the logo like walking by right before fighting the Giga Chad.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was sick.
And even though the Giga Chad is a Giga Chad, the T-Rex is still more menacing to me.
Yeah.
Because when it got back up, and you just see the silhouette of it behind the Giga Chad,
Yeah.
that made me shit my pants.
It's like once they start
kinda
zooming in,
honestly.
it's like he's not dead. He's pissed. It's
Yeah.
like he's getting up. He's gonna fuck your shit.
Dude, but that was I don't like how you didn't like that battle. You have to admit it was fucking cool.
it was a
It
cool
was
battle.
sick.
Yeah.
He pushed it
was
right
sick.
into the fucking like
The
blinds,
Scissor hands fucking
and
trust followed
it just
him.
murked it just instantly. That was so cool.
Yeah, it was alright.
I fucking hate it.
Alright.
Like
So
these
much.
On that
rated
note-
E for everyone.
I can't believe you said that you like Moonfall and then you don't like this. Like this is just a better movie.
Moonfall was a good movie.
No. All right.
was not.
Let's end the podcast.
Moonfall didn't have dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
Falling.
If you like
did you give it again,
dinosaurs,
Jack?
you like monsters,
This movie?
you like this
Yeah.
movie.
4.5.
Simple as that.
Exactly.
Yep.
It is a fun time in theaters.
Huh?
And you didn't like the movie.
Correct. I thought the dinosaurs were cool.
All right. We're ending the podcast.
His opinion.
Like and subscribe.
Follow us on all social medias, even though these guys never post on them anymore.
I do.
because
Do you
He
actually?
posts on
Yes.
them.
Thank you, Zach.
We have a Twitter.
Follow our Twitter because it's the only fucking thing active.
We have a Twitter.
Also,
Instagram, TikTok, other
and
things.
if you like to maybe not watch us on video and look at our ugly faces, you could listen to our ugly voices, perhaps on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, and all that stuff. We are on it. But if you are here on YouTube, please subscribe. It would help us a lot. And give the video a like. And if you love movies and TV shows, then please come back for the next episode. That's it. Well, I love you. Goodbye. Have a good day.
Kisses, bye.
Goodbye.
Well said.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Love you all.
Peace.